Moana 2 is breaking pretty much every opening box office record possible.
Whoa!
But I don't give a shit. Today, just like I didn't see Moana 1 either. It's not for me. I don't feel like it's for me, and I didn't care. I think today I'm not going to bring up any articles. I just want to talk about the culture. So if you would like to have a chat and a discussion, that's basically all I'm going to be doing. And in order to do that, we have to pay homage to our name. So there's many things that we could say. I think a lot of it goes down and comes all the way back down to, especially with the videos that we've been doing recently, where people in Hollywood are saying, we've got to get away from this messaging stuff. We've got to go back to the basics. Yes, we've been saying this for a long time. It's all you need to do. Cater to your audience. You've been on the audience, and I'm going to have to edit a lot of this out because this is basically just unfiltered, like we're having a chat. You've been on the audience for so dadgum long with declining numbers constantly. Some might say exponentially. And when you finally get away from that and just go back to doing things that is accessible to everyone, oh my gosh, that was a success. Who would have thought people still want to go to the theaters and see movies for things that aren't trying to be preachy, for things that are loyal to the characters that were created and why they're going to go see it in the first place, to the lore. Hail the lore of these stories that are so beloved by so many people. It's not that they're finally figuring this out. It's that bankruptcy has finally told them, and enough people have joined our side. So the masses is not only their own little Hollywood electoral college, now the popular vote is like pushing in on them. It's like, dude, will you just shut the fuck up and make good movies again? If it wants to be marketed towards women, something that women like, market it towards women. If you want to make just a straight up balls to the wall, full testosterone, put some hair on your chest action flick, make it specifically geared for men. I'm not saying they're starting to learn this. What I'm saying is it just so happens with the confluence of events in our country that now they're kind of like pushing those little options out there. And guess what? For the most part, except for Gladiator 2. Well, Gladiator 2 is actually doing pretty well. Will it make its budget back? I don't think so. It might come close. It might break even, but at least they're trying to do crap again. This strictly for the audience and the source material, which you should have been doing from day effing one. Now, when I say that, I immediately hear Gary from Nerdrotic in the back of my head talking about how he's already seen War of the Rohirrim. And so I'm cringing at that because obviously that's going to be a departure, but at least for this 2 week period, we're seeing things that are way more oriented towards general audiences, and those are doing really well for them. So I congratulate them on that. Not things that I want to see, but whatever works, works. And that's kind of what Hollywood, in my own opinion, that's what they used to always trying to be figuring out. But they haven't for a long time. They've been so focused on hardlining messaging and gender swapping and race swapping and character swapping that they've forgotten about the story, which is the heart of why you're going to see it in the first place. And it's the heart of everything that's going to connect with the consumer who pays you the money. And you wonder why you've been failing. Maybe this is just a flash in the pan. Maybe it's not. Maybe it at least shines a light to Hollywood, at least. I mean, the consumers, us, the audience, we've known this for like a hell of a long time. And we've been trying to tell you, been trying to warn you, you didn't fucking listen. Maybe it shines a light on, yes, this is how we stay successful. Just to tell you a little story. I mean, it's not really a story, it's more just like my normal life. So outside of this channel, I cook in restaurants and have been for like 13 years now, 13 or 14 years. I've been a professional chef. And there's a lot of requests that come in all the time. And trust me, we don't want to do it. Doesn't align with our menu, doesn't align with what we want to do, but you have to do it for the customer because the customer is paying you money. Well, here's what Hollywood found out the hard way is that the customers who are begging for certain things, fat representation, bull dyke representation, all that kind of stuff, they want to see themselves in the mirror in a like in $100 million production. Yeah, you ain't that important. You ain't that important. We tried to do it for a while, but basically, this is not business savvy. And that's why in a lot of restaurants, where it's like, if it's not on the menu, you can't order it. Nope, we're not doing any of that. We crafted this menu. I mean, you can go somewhere else, that's fine, but there are plenty of people who love this menu, many award winning restaurants. And that's just kind of how you have to deal with it because when you let these people with nitpicks and all this other kind of stuff like dictate every little nitpick of a dish that was already well thought out and complex in itself, when you let them fuck with it, it tears the whole thing apart. It takes away from the artistry of cooking, takes away from the artistry of film and storytelling. When you shove other things in there that don't belong. But then you're still putting out to a massive audience, Hollywood. Well, you have been for a long time. And that's why it's all been falling apart because it's like, no, this is extremely niche. So, you know where those people need to go? They need to go do it themselves. That would be my first option. When I worked at a steakhouse, I don't know if I'm probably going to talk about cooking a lot, but when I worked at a steakhouse and people would come in and say they were vegetarian, what can they have off the menu? Or they came in and said they were vegan. And I was like, well, you can have a salad with no dressing and a glass of water. Go fuck yourself. No, we're not going to cater to you. No, we don't have gluten-free bread. We don't do that here. Do you understand the establishment that you walked into? This is not for you. If you want that, go create it yourself. A lot of people have said that with content creators, and a lot of people have said that with movies, and that's why indie films are like doing bigger than ever. There's a lot of hype and buzz for indie films because Hollywood won't pick them up. Because the people they're putting onto screen what they want to see, and a lot of them have gained massive success. And good for them. That's how it should be in the first place. It shouldn't be dictated by these giant conglomerates. These I don't even know what the word for it is, but like these studios and production facilities that have been around for the last 70, 80 years and basically in control of everything. And now with Google and Amazon in the mix and everyone's just buying and merging and it's all just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but all under one company. That's the reason why everything sucks. Well, that's one of the many reasons why everything is starting to suck so much. Hopefully, this is something that can at least put a boot in the ass of Hollywood. I'm not even going to bring politics into it because it might just be happenstance that what happened in our political election over here in the US and all of it started coming down the pipe all at the same time. That might just be a coincidence, but I think it's kind of funny and I giggle at it. But free speech, free art. That's basically where I stand with all of this. If you have an opinion, say it. Also, if you're saying that opinion to the broad public, you better have thick skin because it doesn't matter who you are going to get roasted, lambasted, and just completely shit upon by people who don't agree with you. And that's fine. That should be their right. But you have to know that going into things like social media. where you just get butthurt. It was like, oh, that person really hurt my feelings. Like, you put it on social media. Come on now. Mm-mm. We ain't doing this shit. You will find your followers, and you'll find people who just troll for fun, and you'll find people who genuinely hate you. That is the world that we live in. It's not just America, it's fucking everywhere. So, to all these people who preach about love and tolerance, are the most love devoid and intolerant folks on the planet. A lot of them happen to be multimillionaires who live and work in Hollywood. Know what you signed up for. I mean, you signed up to be a blank slate as an actor and you were paid a lot of money for it. So, as a blank slate, take this down. Know what you signed up for. Read the fucking contract. Wasn't really much of a point to this, and I don't even think I'm going to edit it. I think I might just. This is just almost, I wouldn't say a fireside chat, more like a blood dripping in the background chat. But yeah, these are just thoughts on paper because I really didn't want to do the same old fucking videos that not only is everyone else talking about, but also have no interest in it. I'd rather talk to you about the state of things. So maybe that's what I'll title it. We do have Off the Hip with Alec Baldwin's Finger this evening. It's in about an hour and a half. Still on Alec Baldwin's Fingers channel. You can find me there along with a lot of great people. And we don't always agree, which is a great thing. That's also something, oh goodness, trying to do an outro. That's also something, if if you cancel people out of your life just because you disagree with them on things, you're a piece of shit. That's the only way you learn is by not only mistakes but knowledge, and that's the way you grow as a human being, and also just societally. Is by seeing people from other walks of life, people with other points of view, trying to understand those points of view. Now, whether you do understand it and you still don't agree with it, that's one thing. But just dismissing everyone, because you think you're right, you're a fucking moron. And before I go off too much further, because I don't want to make this a long video, this is just kind of, it's not even a rant. It's more just like, this is what goes on in my head pretty much constantly when I'm thinking about an issue. I just don't say it out loud. So here it is out loud. If this video does well, we can have more of these kind of things. If it doesn't, that's fine. It will stay public and you can come back here. But at least you know, whenever I'm talking to you, you get the real me. And I'm thinking about a million things at once. And yes, that's why, even though I look, or I've been told that I'm intimidating as fuck, when people find out, hey, he actually is approachable. I am approachable. My DMs are open. If you ever want to talk, you know where to find me. Twitter, the GCA Discord, which if you're not in there, you should get in there. There's a lot of great people in there, and that thing is popping. And then, um, Late and Gay, live stream Wednesday nights at 8:30 Eastern. But I will say it for the second time because I love you guys. You guys have helped us so much. We're monetized now. We're doing big things. We've got a lot of stuff, a lot of irons in the fire. This is Multi from the GCA. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you later.